Alright, welcome back guys to video number 2. So let's begin by taking care of the top bar right here with the drop down menu and the search bar. So let's switch back to Espresso, and the first thing we'll do is add some classes to the nav and to the form. So we'll do FL for float right to the nav, and then FR for the form. Let's have a look. All right, and we gotta clear the float, so we'll add CF clear float to the parent div. All right, now open up style CSS. And let's scroll. Let's create a new section here. Call it menu. All right, so we'll do UL nav. The first style will be list style type, set to none. Okay. And then we'll do UL nav list item. Float left, and we'll do a position relative. We need this so that we can absolutely position the parent, the child list for the drop down. You'll see. All right, let's have a look. All right, looking good. Now, I think I'll add a right margin to this. So margin right, just to separate the elements a bit. And I'm gonna do a 5 pixel margin. So the parent font size is 16 pixels. So we'll do 5 by 16, 3125 ems. So 0.3125 ems. It's 5 by 16. All right, so that, let me zoom in a bit. All right, and that will give us a right margin of 5 pixels. Cool. Now we gotta take care of the icons. So let's open up Photoshop and grab the IC user icon. Okay, and this is 15 by 15, but I'm gonna change this to 26 by 16. All right, so that adds a 10 pixel margin to the right of the image, and I'm using that in case whoever uses the theme wants the image positioned to the right instead of the left. So by adding the extra margin, I'm making sure the image is set 10 pixels from the right margin of the button. All right, let's export this into icons. Let's make a new folder, menu, and let's call it IC user menu. Okay. Next one is the mail icon, which will have 2 states. So first one is, of course, 26 by 16. So let's export this. We'll call it IC notification active, and the second state will be the normal state. So let's change the color to the default one. So IC notification simple. Cool. Next, settings. Grab this. Do the same with the width and call it IC menu settings. And finally, the logout icon. IC menu log off or log out. Okay. Let me quickly open up these icon and change some of the names here. I'll say IC menu notification just to keep the name consistency. So IC menu notification. Alright. Let's see what else. We need this little icon from the dashboard. Change the icon size to 16 by 16. Okay, I'll export this into my parent folder, my root folder, and I'll say dashboard icon. Okay, what else? We need these little arrows from the side menu. Okay, I'll export this at 5 by 5 for now, and I'll increase the size later on if necessary. So this will be list item bullet. Next, let's take these two icons, IC edit and delete, and change it to 16 by 16. All right, export this into icons, make new folder, table, and call this IC table edit .png, and do the same for the delete icon. IC table delete.png. Cool. What else? We need these icons from the message boxes. So let's quickly grab these. We'll export them into actually into icons, message box, and we'll do IC information. this will be IC error. IC confirmation, and finally we have IC warning. The IC warning icon is 18 by 16, but being 2 pixels wider is not a problem. Okay, so that was it for the export, for exporting the images. Let's go back to Espresso. And let's put those icons in the buttons. So let's see where the buttons are. Let's see, button dark, IC. So IC menu user, IC menu. All right. Copy this, images, icons, menu, IC. Menu user.png. All right. Menu notifications active, I think. Notification active. IC menu notification active. Next one is settings. And finally logout. All right, cool. There it is. All right. Next step is to take care of this submenu. So the first thing we'll do is go back to the menu here. All right, and say ul nav list item ul, and we'll start with list style type none. Position will be absolute. We'll do a z index of 999 just to make sure our drop-down menu shows on top of everything else. And also we'll do a left of minus this. So we're not actually hiding the menu using display none, we're just showing it way off the screen, and that's a better technique than actually hiding it, because some screen readers need to still actually read the menu, and if you hide it, they can't do that. So this is a better way. All right, so we as you can see, the drop-down menu is now way off the screen. So the way to hide it, to show it, sorry, is ul nav list item hover ul, and we'll just do left 0. So when we hover on the list item with the child ul, we do left 0. So now if we hover, we can see the menu. All right, cool. So let's style this this drop-down menu. First of all, I'm just going to comment this so it's shown all the time so we can style it. And I'll begin with the anchor tags. So ul nav list item ul list item a. We'll do a color of white. What else? Let's do a background color. And the background color should be the same as the hover background color. So we'll go to dark, hover, and we'll grab this color. Oops. All right, we'll do display block. And let's have a look. Okay, so far so good. But we gotta make this font a bit smaller. So we'll go to typography and we'll add ul nav list item ul to this with a font size of 0.75 to make it 12 pixels. Let's have a look. All right, so now it looks good. Cool, okay. Now, once I resized, once I made the font size smaller, you can see this one shows to the right of the second menu item, and we can easily correct that by setting width 100%. This is weird. So display block should have taken care of this. So why is this showing like this? Let's add some padding to it because we need paddings. I'm gonna add 10 pixels of padding. So we'll do 10. No, I'll do 5 pixels of padding. So 5 by 12. That's 0.416. 416 amps. So it's 5 by 12. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the solution is just add a bit of padding. So now the element will have a much bigger width, so it will automatically go on the next line. But what if we do this? Nav list item, and we just target the first list items. Yeah, there we go. The problem that we had was when we were targeting the list items, we were saying float left, and that included the list items from the child list. So everything was being floated to the left. It didn't matter. I had display set to block, right? So just target the first list items, the first level list item, which are these, and the second ones won't have any float added to them. Okay, cool. All right, add the padding. I think I need it to be a bit bigger, like 10. So 10 by 12, that's 0.833. Yeah, that's a bit better. Let me zoom in here. All right. So what I'm gonna do now, I want this submenu to look like it's part of the button on the top. So an easy way to do that is to add a margin top of -2 pixels. So that will push the submenu to the top into the main button, into the parent button. And also I want this button to be highlighted when I have the submenu activated. So to do that, we'll do a persistent hover state, as it's called. So we'll do ul nav list item hover a, and for style we'll do background color. It's the same color as the submenu background, and we'll do color white. All right, so now when I hover on the submenu, the parent button keeps its hover state. All right, cool. Next, let's do some hover states for the submenu. So we'll do ul nav list item ul list item a and hover, and all we gotta do here is set a background color, and the background color is 7A 8497. Let's have a look. Cool, and it's a lighter color. Bit of cleanup. Let's also add a border top to our list item. So let's say border top 1 pixel solid, and the color is 6A 7282. All right. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Finally, a couple of changes here. I want the bottom left and right corners to be round. So we'll use a pseudo selector, ul nav list item ul list item. We'll do last child A. So we're basically targeting the last list item from this UL. Okay, and we'll do border bottom right radius 0.3125 ems, and that is 5 by 16. we'll copy this. We'll do a left, and then we'll do a Moz from Zilla. So a Moz border bottom right radius, and then a left radius, and then we'll do WebKit. For right and left. Have a look. All right, so now these two corners are rounded and these are not, so that they look good on their parent element. Okay, cool. So now if we remove the comment here, as you can see, this is our drop down, but we can improve this even further. So we can take this text and just add a left margin, so that it will align with the logged in text. So where we have padding, we'll do 0.833 ems for right, bottom, and for the left, we'll do about, let's see, let's try 3 ems. I think that was the correct margin for the top button. Let's see. Image, yep, image left, padding left, 3 ems. So that's what we need to do. 36 by 12. Let's have a look. And there it is. All right, cool. Now one thing we can do is add one of those arrows that we have on the side menu. We can add them to the drop down menu. So let's grab one of those. All right, I'll make this white. And save it. As menu item bullet. All right. So let's see, list item A, background. We'll do img, menu item indicator, menu item bullet, sorry, .png, no repeat, and it's positioned to the right and center. Let's have a look. All right, quick fix. Let's add some right margin here. About, I'd say about 20 pixels. So we'll do 25. All right. Maybe a bit less, like 15. Or 20. Yep, I like that. All right, so that is the submenu. And if we look at the Photoshop here, we can see that we have a couple of separator lines between some elements of the menu. So I'll quickly grab this color right here. All right, and I'll go to the ones that I want. I want them to have the separator, and just add a simple class. So I want one here, list item, and I'll say class equals vsep. And also I want one after the notification, so I'll do class vsep. All right. So let's do ul nav list item with a class of vsep. So we'll do border right. It's 1 pixel solid, and that color. Also, we'll do a margin right. I think about 10 pixels should be good. So 10 by 16. It's 0.625 amps. 10 by 16. All right. And what else? Let's see how it looks. All right, it's here. Let me zoom in. You can see that it's here. It just needs a bit of padding. So padding right. Yep, padding right. The same value as above, 625 amps. 10 by 16. All right, there it is. So we have one separator here and one separator here. All right, good. Next is the search bar, or the search input. And for that, we'll go to forms, and we'll do form with an ID of search form input type text. So we'll do border none for starters to get rid of that border. Okay. And also I want it to have an icon, a search icon. So we'll add two classes here. First one is image right, and second one is IC search. Okay, let's add those images. So we'll do img icons, and let's see if we have any icon here for search. We have an icon for zoom, so I'll grab this and I'll change the color overlay. Export this in icons. Let's call it IC search. Okay. So button round dark, image right, and the class name is IC search. Did I make a mistake again? IC search, background image icons, IC search.png. Hello. All right, so there it is. Cool. One other thing, if we type, we can see that the text is overlapping the background image, and we can easily fix that with a right padding. So search form input type text, we'll do a padding right of, let's see, about 3 ems. All right, there we go. And the reason I put 3 ems is because I wanted 36 pixels. 10 from the left to the image, 16 is the image, and 10 again from the image to the text. So in total, 36 pixels. All right, cool. Now, one thing we notice here is the search box is a bit too big. It's way taller than the rest of the buttons. So let's go to typography and say add form, search form, input type text, and make the font size 12 pixels. Let's see if that did the trick. No, it didn't. But why not? It should have fixed it. Form, search form, input type text. Let's have a look at the form input type text padding. So we have a padding of 15 pixels. For top and bottom. So if we take this padding and adapt it, let's put a 10 pixel padding all around. See if that does the trick. Yep, there it is. So the search bar inherited the padding from the traditional input, which is a bit bigger. So all I did was change it to 10 pixels. But also let's do 3 ems to the right, so that the text doesn't overlap with the background image. 833 and 833 ems. Okay. Cool. All right. That's looking good. One final thing, and we are done with the top part, is kind of style. Give the placeholder a different color. So we'll do WebKit input placeholder and give it a color of 85 8D9C. Okay, and do the same for Moz. And this is the syntax currently available for changing a placeholder's properties. And remember, this is supported. I mean, it's not supported in IE, Opera 10 and below, and Firefox 3.6 and below. All right, let's have a look. Oh, so I just changed it to a slightly lighter color. All right. Okay, next stop is the tab section. So let's scroll up to here, and we need to start with header with tabs. So div header with tabs. And all we got to do here is change the padding to something smaller. So currently we have 1.25 to top and bottom and 0 for the sides. And we'll change this, we'll actually remove the bottom padding. So we'll do 0 and 0. Okay. Next, we'll do another section, call it tabs, and we'll do UL tabs, set the list style type to none. Okay, and then each list item will be floated to the left. Okay, and we'll style the anchor tags inside the list items. So list item A, let's see. First of all, see how it looks. Cool. Start with display block. And then let's add a border, 1 pixel solid, and the color is EE, EF, EF. Oops, sorry, I meant EE, EF, EF. Okay. Let's remove the border bottom, and we gotta change the font size of these. So let's go back to typography up here, and we'll do UL tabs. All right. And that changed the font size to 12 pixels. Cool. Now, we also need a padding. So, being 12 pixels, this is the parent font size, we need them to have 20 pixels on the top and 10 pixels on the side. So, we'll do 20 by 12, that's 1.66. And 10 by 12, oops, that's 0.833. So 20 by 12 and 10 by 12. Finally, we got a distance. We got to make a bit of distance between them. So we'll add a margin right. Let's say margin is 0 for top. Right will be, I'd say, about 5 pixels. So 5 by 12, 0.416 ems. Bottom, let's do -1 pixel for bottom and 0 for left. All right, cool. Now, we don't actually need this -1 pixel, so I'll just put it to 0. 5 by 12. Okay. Now this is the standard tab. We gotta set a color for it. It's not always gonna be blue. So let's do color on the anchor tag. It is 9498A1. Okay. And finally, a color for hover. So UL tabs list item a hover. We'll do color is 2A, 2E36, a dark color. Cool. Next, let's add a class to this anchor tag. First of all, it's the dashboard tab. This is a bit special because we gotta add that icon, and also it's the active tab, correct? So let's go back. And we'll do UL tabs list item a dashboard tab. All right, so we'll do background, transparent, URL images. What did we call that? Dashboard icon. Icon.png, no repeat, left and center. ing, sorry. Okay, let's position this to the right a bit. So I'll grab the lateral padding that we have on the list item, so 0.833 ems from the left, and then add another 16 pixels to this class. So padding left 16 plus another 10, that's 26, plus another 10, that's 36. By 12, that's 3 ems. So 36 by 12. All right, so I hope that was clear what I did there with the padding. 36 comes from 10 from the padding left, another 16 from the icon size, and another 10 from the padding right here. So in total 36 pixels. All right, next stop, we'll do tabs list item a Okay. And we'll do background color is the same color as the content below. So F8, F9, FA. Let's do bold for the active tab, and the color should be a kind of a dark color. So I'll grab this one. Let's have a look. All right, cool. Now, the problem that we have here is this bottom line, which kind of screws up our layout, so our tabs don't look like tabs. So for that, I'll just add -1 pixel of bottom margin here, so that the whole tab area just is pushed down by 1 pixel. So now it looks like a regular tab. All right, so just to test things out, if I add the class of active tab to my third tab, it should look, it looks as it should. Good, good, good. So we finished the tabs. Now we gotta take care of this logo here because it's too big, and I have the new company logo small. So let's find the original company logo. Huh, interesting. Let's see where top bar and header. So A with a class of company logo small. All we gotta do is change the height to 30 pixels. Logo small IMG, sorry. So A with an ID of company logo small. There we go. All right, cool. Well, I think that is enough for one video, guys. We finished the top with our drop-down menu and our search bar, and we did the tabs, and they are looking good. In the next video, we'll take care of the rest of the layout. So I'll see you there.